Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, and today I'm continuing my playthrough of Skies Above Britain. We are up to Chapter 3, Patrol number 5. Alright, before we get started, a couple of corrections for some things I've been doing incorrectly. First one, thank you Stuart for pointing this out in my last patrol. I completely forgot that if you get a Messerschmitt's result in the deep zone, well, whether you're in the deep zone or the raid vector marker is in the deep zone, if either of those is the case, then Messerschmitt's results are treated as straggler results. And I did indeed get a Messerschmitt's result while we were back here. And should have treated that as a straggler, which I would have most likely ignored. And then I think it was green section that ended up getting jumped by the Messerschmitts. That should not have happened. Fortunately, none of them suffered any ill fate, so I think the results would have probably been the same, even if I had done that correctly, because then I would have just had all three sections that failed to intercept the bombers and then went back home. So net result, I think the same, but I should not have done that dogfight with green section there. All right, the second one, and this is one I just realized on my own. Something I've been forgetting. I think early on I was probably doing this correctly, but I know at least in one recent patrol that I failed to do this, is when you're in a dogfight and you get a damage result like this here. You're supposed to reduce the fighter marker by 1 to indicate that you've shot down one of the planes. So there was a swarm, you shoot one down, now there's only 3. And I know at least in one recent patrol, probably some others, I've been forgetting to do that. So just wanted to point that out and hopefully make sure we get that right going forward. Okay, so with that, I think we can go ahead and jump in to the action. So let's start with our random event roll. If you recall in the previous episode, I've decided from now on to postpone rolling for replacements until the beginning of the following patrol instead of at the end of a patrol, because there are several of these events that can affect your replacements for the patrol. So I figured it would just be easier to keep track of this way. So once we roll this, assuming we're able to, we will then roll for our replacements. All right, so we're again on chapter number 3. So using this table here, let's see what happens. 1 again, another scramble. Well, that does in fact mean we won't get any replacements again, which is not good. And just to refresh here. Order to scramble arise before your squadron is prepared. You're not permitted replacement pilots this patrol. Set up normally, except place raid vector markers and the squadron formation marker as shown. Then roll a die and apply the results in the hasty scramble table. So exactly the same as what we had last time. Except hopefully we won't end up with everyone low ammo this time. So our squadron marker is going in the deep zone. So remember, Tim, Messerschmitts equals straggler. And then we'll set up the markers like this. So get those out and shuffled up. Yeah, it's easy to forget that because these end up getting, this iconography here ends up getting covered up with vector markers, and so It's easy to miss that. It would have been nice if they had had a way to indicate this on the board some way that was still visible when the markers were on there. All right, so we got 4 in the leftmost. 2 in the next one. Then 3. And 3. All right. And this time, let's not forget to roll for the sun location, or visibility and sun location. Here's our table for that. Red die for visibility, blue die for sun location if necessary. Oh, nope, looks like we got clouds, no sun this time. So clouds, no sun. Oh, this is shaping up to be another potentially non-productive patrol. All right, let's see. I think that's all we need to do for that. So now let's get our pilot assignments done. Let's see who we have available and who's fatigued, and then go from there. All right, so yeah, I think we already determined that, no, that was from the previous time. So Doggett and Fitzroy were fatigued prior to the last patrol, so they're good to go now. And of course we got all of them still available. Let's see of the ones that flew last time who's fatigued now. That would be Atkinson, for Kershaw is fatigued. Osgood is fatigued. And although Osgood now has flown 4 patrols, so they are no longer, or he is no longer green. So let me erase his little green designation on here. And then, who else? Upchurch is fatigued. Our ace, our one and only ace. All right, so what does that leave us? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10. If we flew 2 pilots that were fatigued, we could do an entire squadron, a full squadron of 4 sections. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. So let's see. That means we'll need to fly. I think we want to keep our ace rested. He deserves it, right? Kershaw. Wow, Kershaw is not... he's flown for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 patrols, and he's only managed 1 escort kill. So Kershaw, you need to step it up. You're flying, buddy. We'll make him a yellow section leader. No, maybe we won't make him a leader since he's fatigued. We've got enough veterans The spread around here will promote Jap to green section leader for this one. Irwin will lead red section. And another thing I just realized recently. So I've been indicating that pilots are fatigued by flipping them upside down like this. But then as I was putting some counters away the other day, I just noticed that the back side of the dorsal gunner hit markers is actually a fatigue marker. So we can just use that to indicate that they are fatigued. All right, we want to get our green pilots back into the action. So we'll give one to Irwin and we'll give one to White. And then that leaves tell you what, how about we run the sections that have green pilots? Let's give them 2 veterans. And then we can put, I don't think we want 2 fatigued pilots in the same section. So let's do that, and we'll put Atkinson here in green section, and he is also fatigued. All right. Okay, so let me get these recorded. We got Doggett. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're on patrol 5 now. Doggett, Irwin, who will become fatigued after this patrol. Jap, who will also be fatigued after this. Kershaw, who will be exhausted if we try to fly him a 4th time. I got out of order here. I was just going down the list here, remembering that they were on, but let me go across here. So we got Hooley, Pertwee, who will be fatigued after this one. Jap, I already got, who was that again? Atkinson. Yeah. And Fitzroy. This will be his 3rd patrol, so 1 more and he won't be green anymore. Same for Doggett. Let's see, then we've got White, who will be fatigued after this one. Northcott, Birtwistle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's getting close to becoming a veteran. Rathbone, and what was this again? Kershaw, right? I already got him down. Okay. All right, we got those all recorded. So I think we are ready to begin. Let's get our fuel boxes in the right spot, fuel cubes. Okay, so let's start with the, actually before we jump in again, let's roll to see if Ellsworth makes it out of the hospital. He's gonna need a 9 or higher. And he gets a 6, so he stays there again. All right, now we can jump in with the reveal step of the RAID vector sequence. Oh, there we go, right off the bat. Turn point. Oh, well, that's good, because it doesn't mention it here, but I'll pretty sure that that means the sun comes out. Yep. If no sun, visibility is now clear and the sun's position is, and we have to roll to see what it is. Two is going to be, where'd we go? Oh, didn't have the camera down far enough. 2 is going to be nose. So we're now clear sun, and the sun is at the nose. Okay, but then we've got the RAID result already, so this is going to come down. And now that it is clear, we get to roll for the escorts. So let's pull that chart out. And hopefully we don't get, what was it? I think we rolled a 2 or something last time for this. Let's hope for something a little more favorable. 10, that's much better. So we got 109s ahead, 110s low, and 110 heavy at port. So 109s in the ahead station. And then we need a couple 110s. Oh, those aren't heavy though. And then 110s at low. 110 heavy at port. Okay. Looks like starboard's probably going to be the best approach if we can manage it. All right. Tail might not be bad either. So that's that. And we continue revealing. Oh, it should actually be here. Wow, look at that. And it wasn't even the other way around, so we could do a contact in between. So there we are. They dropped their bombs. We ignore the second result. And yeah, all these come off. And then we see if we can chase them down before they make it back across the channel. So no victory points for isolated Ketton this time around. Only destroyed bombers, and every 4 destroyed escorts will count. And there we have it. So that will take us to the fuel step. And then we have an opportunity for contact. I think we better try now, even though we're in an adjacent zone, because we don't want to be fooling around once it gets over to here, because then we're having guys potentially having to bail out over the channel, and that's no good. Alrighty, so let's get our contact table. We're in an adjacent zone, so we have to spend a fuel, at least one. And then we roll. There's no clouds now, so we don't have that modifier, so that's good. Let's see where we come in at. 4 is going to be tail low, or we can improve it to flank low. I'm guessing we're going to want to do that. Let's take a look at our interception tables. So if we come in tail low, we'll have the penalty of having to draw 2 return fire markers and taking the worst result. Unless it was Stukas, but we don't have it. There's not even a chance of having Stukas for this patrol or this chapter. So, all right. So what are we looking at here? If we go tail low, we've got ahead, port, and low. And ahead is 109s, and the other 2 are 110. So ahead 109s would be 5. Port 110s would be 7. And low 110s would be 6. So we'd be looking at needing a 7 or higher, assuming we don't suppress them. Or you know what? I just remembered too. We were supposed to roll to see who all's low ammo. So we'll do that here in a second. Got ahead of myself there in the setup. All right. How about if we came in flank low? Then the ahead 109s, would be an 8. That's interesting that there's that big of a difference between 109s and 110s in the ahead station. We could come in on the opposite flank, so this would only be a 4. For the 110s at port. And then the low station 110s would be a 3. So yeah, here we're looking at an 8. Wow, so we either need an 8 to come in on the starboard side, or a 7 if we wanted to come in tail low, but then again we're suffering this penalty for that. So, yeah, I think we just try this. If it doesn't pan out, then, you know what? Again, we can just say, see you later, boys. So, yeah, I think we will spend the fuel to switch it to, or make an adjustment to flank low. We'll do that. And flank low, and we'll choose starboard because that's on the opposite side of the escorts. Yeah, this can go away as well. All right, so that's contact. So now we're going to start the interception sequence, but before we do, let's rewind here a bit and finish our setup from the scramble result. We're going to have possibly some additional fuel expenditure and some fighters on low ammo. So let's hope we can get an 11 or 12 here. That would be awesome. Nope. Everyone's low ammo and we have to spend 3 fuel. The worst possible result. 3. So yeah, we're definitely just going to take one crack at this, and if we don't manage to intercept them, then we'll just pack it in. And again, we've already avoided a disaster result for this chapter, so I'm not overly concerned about not scoring points for a patrol. Look at that, just enough. Imagine that. Okay. Yeah, I finally get to bring a full squadron, and then we get this kind of luck. All right. That's taken care of. So now we can get back to where we were. Fast forward to the interception sequence. So we need to give some orders to our squadron. And like I said, we could try to intercept in this case it would be the ahead station that's causing us the most issues, because that would put us down to only needing a 5. But then that's at least three fewer fighters in the bomber area. And I think we just want to try to get as many fighters in there, make a couple of quick strikes, and then vamoose. So we will not bother trying to suppress anyone. We're just going to give a bomber's order to the entire squadron. We want you to fly this way though, guys. All right, so let's resolve that. Bomber interception. We're coming in from flank low, so we have to spend another fuel. Burning through that fuel. And it was 109s ahead, 110s on the other side, and 110s low. So 8 is our highest number, so that's what we have to equal or exceed. We can spend a fuel to re-roll. Will put us even lower on the fuel track, but if we need to, I think we'll do it. Like I said, we're not planning on sticking around very long, no matter what happens. All right, so we need an 8 or higher. And we got it. Whew. Just barely. Okay, so we've managed to intercept them. This comes off the interception map. And we roll to see what our bomber configuration looks like. Let's hope it's not Dorniers, because they're the hardest to take down. Okay, red die for bomber type. Blue die for formation. And it's a 12, so we got Henkels, and a 1 is going to be this here. Which would be awesome if we were able to score points for isolating tiles, but such is not the case. So I think we'll probably just focus on a couple of tiles and try to take out as many as we can. All right, let me get that set up, and I'll put the fighters in the bomber formation area, and we will be all set. Actually, you know what? We were supposed to do this actually as soon as I made contact, I just realized. But that's okay. It didn't affect our interception attempts. But yeah, as soon as contact is successful, unless there's clouds, you should put the bombers out. Okay, so here we are. All fighters have entered the bomber formation area, and we start the bomber cycle. So first step is the approach step. We're coming in from starboard, so we have to approach from that angle. Like I said, I think we'll just focus on, actually, why don't we just do it down here so it's closer. We'll focus on these 2 tiles down here. And I want to keep the green pilots with attacking the same bomber as one of the veterans, one or more of the veterans in their section, because that way they can utilize their stay close privilege if needed. All right, so I think we'll just pile up on the one tile to try to maximize our chances of destroying all three of those bombers, and then maybe put a few on this other tile just to see what we can do. So I think we'll do 3 on each of these. So we'll just have yellow section go after this one. No, they're not technically a section right now, but you know what I mean. Red will go after that one, and all 3 green fighters will go after this one. And then we'll send blues after that one. All right, we actually get to use the bomber deck this time. We're going to start here with yellow 3. Actually, you know what? Let me make sure the greens go first so that we can use that privilege, and then if we don't need to, they can use it for, what's it called? Discipline. So who are our green pilots? We've got blue 3 and red 3. 3 and red 3. So let me make sure they're okay. There's blue 3. Let me put red 3 in the front here as well. All right. So starting off with yellow 3. And we're coming in. Oh, look at that. Only needed 4, and we've got 12. So that's all it does is isolate the tile, but that'll make it easier for everybody else. Again, no VPs for that. Let me go ahead and cross that section off on the squadron log. We're on chapter 3, patrol 5. Okay. All right, so that's him. Then coming in behind him is yellow leader. We're now on an isolated tile, starboard or port. 5 will definitely drop them out, and they take a dorsal gunner hit. So let's get a lone Heinkel. That's this side. Give them that hit. This gets a fallen marker over it. And now yellow 2. We'll see what they can do against a lone bomber now. Another dorsal gunner hit, and they go low ammo. Now, is yellow 2 a veteran? They are. Oh, I got to remember too. That's that's Kershaw. That's our fatigued pilot. So he gets +1 on. I think it's 2 hit checks or hit checks. Fate box rolls. Something else. Oh, collision checks, I think. Just refresh my memory on that. Experience. Where does it talk about fatigue? So on the index, fatigue 49. Love a good index. Here it is. it's a -1, sorry, -1 die roll on hit checks, fate checks, and collision checks. Yep. So what I'm going to do to help me remember that is I'm actually going to move this fatigue marker off of the pilot and put it on his fighter. And same goes for green 2. Green 2's right there. All right, that'll help me remember that. All right. So, yeah, but what I was getting at then is, so he's a veteran, so he can use his privilege to ignore that low ammo result, which he will do. Turn him sideways to show he's used it. All right. So that concludes that run. Let's do green next. So green 3. Run an isolated tile. Does a dorsal gunner hit, goes low ammo, and 6 for them to fall out, which we've got 7. It's going to be 8 when we add that. So yep, they'll fall out, which means both of these are now lone bombers. So let's get that dorsal gunner hit. Actually, let's go ahead and get the individual tiles first. We can get rid of this bomber tile, or this Keta tile. All right, so they take a dorsal gunner hit, and we go low ammo, and green 3 is not a veteran. They are now out of ammo. He is now out of ammo. Okay. Next up, green leader, lone bomber. Wow, lots of dorsal gunner hits here. Second one of those, so they just need one more hit to go down. Did we forget? I think I might have forgot to put a hit on that other one. Let me see. So this was our first card. It isolated them. And then the second one got a dorsal gunner hit. And they fell out. And yeah, I forgot. I did the... used his privilege to ignore the low ammo, but I never actually put the hit on for that result from... what was that? Yellow 2, right? Yeah, over here. So this one should also have 2 hit markers on it, or damage markers. Okay. Let's make sure we got all this then. Yeah, so that's all it was just the dorsal gunner hit for that one. So we're good there. He's done. And then our fatigued pilot of green 2, which is Atkinson. Lone bomber, green pilot would take a hit. Atkinson is not green. Gets the destroy with another hit result and goes low ammo. Atkinson is not a veteran, so he is out of ammo. But he does manage to destroy that bomber. And for fun, we'll see what he actually hit. Or no, wait. It's 4 hits, isn't it? Yeah. Never mind. He doesn't destroy it, but he gets a 3rd hit on it. I was thinking 3 hits for some reason, but that's only on a Stuka. Of course, if it's a cockpit, then it is. Nope, just a wing. All right. Yeah, shoot, I forgot. I don't know why I was thinking 3 hits. That's why I only assigned 3 to each one. I should have just done 4 on all 3 of them. Oh, well. Let's go ahead and move on then to red sections fighters, starting with red 3, who is green. So let's keep that in mind. Let's see, we're on a lone bomber coming from starboard port. Ooh, he is green. So he would take a damage. However, I don't know. It doesn't have to necessarily be the section leader, right? Because we're not in sections anymore. It's just bomber formation area if same approach. Yeah. So we could use either Irwin or Hooley's privilege to cancel that. We'll just go ahead and use Hooley's, I think. Because he's on the same bomber and the same approach. So we can do that. And then hit, or damage and low ammo. So he's out of ammo. And he gets a hit or damage on the wing. Then we've got red 2, the aforementioned Hooley. He gets a damage and low ammo. Unfortunately, he just used his privilege to save Doggett from getting hit, so he can't cancel that. So he is out. And we get another damage. And another wing damage. Okay, then we've got red leader. There it is, dorsal gunner, and he can cancel that because he hasn't used his privilege yet. So we'll have him, yeah, because Doggett's going to be going home anyway because he's out of ammo, so we don't need to save it for him to potentially protect him. So we will use his privilege. Here. We use his privilege to cancel that low ammo result, and he will get a dorsal gunner hit on that one. Yeah, if I wouldn't have been so absent-minded, not really absent-minded, but if I'd have remembered correctly and sent 4 after each of these, we might have had 2 destroyed already. All right, so let's see what these guys can do up here. Blue 3. And we're back up here on the top row. Blue 3 is a green pilot. So again, either white or Northcott could cancel that. We'll go with white this time. To cancel that. Stay close here, Fitzroy. And then we disrupt on a 10 with 10 or more, but no, we've only got 3. That's what we needed for the first one, and then the other one for this. Okay, so that's all he does. Next up is blue leader, Mr. Jerry White. And we're still up top here. Wow, we need 13 now. Yeah, we definitely should have sent these guys over here. His guns are jammed, and he has to do a collision check. Well, he's not fatigued, fortunately, so just a regular collision check. Ooh, very close there, Mr. White. And jammed guns. And we've got blue 2. And 9, nope, and jammed guns for him too. So, wow, that was very unproductive of them, of blue section. They should have just stayed on that other Keta. That was my fault. All right, everyone will disengage. We don't have any hit checks to resolve, so that's awesome. I'm going to spin these around because I'm going to have them come in from the port side on this second round. Those that are sticking around anyway. All right, let's just move these guys up over here. Okay, so no hit checks. So that completes the bomber cycle. We resume back to we were resolving this bomber's order, so we're back here. We have no cruise orders to resolve, so now we go to the entropy phase and right back to the bomber formation area. All right, so at this point, everyone that is out of ammo is going to RTB. So he will, him. I think that's it. All right, so all these 4 all head back to base. And we're going to take another crack here, see if we can at least get these 3 down. And maybe one more if we get lucky. So I think what we'll do is send, we've got 2 guys with jammed guns, so we'll use them as backup on a couple of these. Let's do there and there. Let's see, who's still left that's green? Doggett was in red 2. He already went home. And Fitzroy, or 3, I mean. And Fitzroy was in blue 3. Is right here. So I'd like to keep Fitzroy with Northcott because he's still got his privilege left. And that's Northcott there. So what we'll do is actually have it go like this. And then let's send, we want at least 2 there, I think. And then I guess these 2 guys will just be, take a crack at one of these just to see if they can get lucky. Or do we want to back up over here? I think we want to back up over here in case one of these guys don't get a hit. Like, you know what? Let's just do some extra backup. Because it's quite unlikely that he would draw, even if he gets a damage result, draws a cockpit on somebody. So let's try to make sure we don't leave anything behind here. At least score 3 points. if we can. Again, it's not making sure, it's just increasing the odds. All right. So we'll start over here with Blue Leader with Jammed Guns, trying to finish off this one. Lone Bomber, there it is. All right, if it goes through. So Blue Leader has already used his privilege, so he is out of ammo now. It's kind of interesting that your guns can jam, but you still run out of ammo. All right, so let's see if that damage actually goes through. We need an even number here. Nope. But he is no longer jammed, but he's no longer got any ammo. So that's it for Mr. White. All right, Yellow Leader. Let's see if he can finish him off. Yes. And he goes low ammo, which is fine. He hasn't used his privilege, but he's not going to stay around anyway. We'll save his privilege for in case he needs it for a fate box roll or something. Because we will still have to possibly deal with an escort reaction here. All right, but he gets the 4th hit there. Let's see what it was. 4th damage. And it was an engine. So credit the pilot, Yellow Leader, which is Rathbone, with a bomber kill. That's his 4th. Either 1 more bomber kill or 3 more fighter kills, and he'll be an ace. That's 1 bomber kill for the patrol. So we're not going to come up empty, at least. All right, then we've got Blue 3. Which is our green pilot Fitzroy. Oh, his guns jam. Okay, then we got Blue 2, whose guns are already jammed. Okay, possible damage results. Low ammo. Blue 2 is Northcott, but again, I'm going to save his privilege in case he needs to make a fate box roll. Let's see if this damage actually makes it through. It does not. Glad I did this extra backup over here. But his guns are no longer jammed. Oh, he was... Oh, no, he just went low ammo, right? I was like, he wasn't already out of ammo, was he? And then Green Leader to try to finish this one off. Yes. Dorsal gunner hit and low ammo. Green Leader is Jap. He's still got his privilege, but again, we'll save it. We're not going to stick around for another go-round. So that takes this one out, and credit Jap with the bomber kill. And for those of you who may have just recently started watching, no, that is not a racial slur. It's a reference to Inspector Jap from the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot stories. Okay, so Jap gets a bomber kill. That's 2 for the patrol. And that's his 3rd. All right, and then yellow 3. Down here, yep, awesome. Damage and low ammo. Yellow 3 is not a veteran, so they don't even have the choice of canceling it. Let's see what they manage to do. He manages to do. Engine, already fallen though, so no further effect. Then we've got our fatigued pilot of yellow 2, which is Kershaw. Veteran who has already utilized his privilege. Let's see if he can finish this guy off, even though he's a little sleepy. No, guns jammed. Oh, and he has a collision check, so -1 to that roll, so 1 or a 2. And he will get the kill then, but he will also get killed. Oh, so close. Narrowly dodged that. And not that it's going to make a difference, but his guns are jammed. Come on, red leader. It's up to you. Get this third victory point. There it is. And low ammo, I'm perfectly fine with. He's already used his privilege anyway. That's Irwin. So Irwin manages to hit them on the fuselage to take them down. And Irwin, right? Red leader, yep. Irwin gets his second bomber kill. I think we were just talking about how he needed to step it up, right? Well, he did. Okay, so that's that. We disengage. We're already disengaged. And again, no hit checks, which is awesome. But now, when we resume from the bomber cycle, we go back to here and we have reaction. So we got to draw one of these escort reaction cards and see if they come after us. We got escorts in 3 stations, so odds are pretty good we're gonna get something. Oh yeah. So no clouds, so we ignore that. Help arrives, so we got 2 coming from port, which is our 110s, 1 from low, which are also 110s. No one's in starboard, so it's going to be all 110s all the time, and 3 cards. Pull those 3 cards. And let's see who ends up having to deal with them. Hardly anyone has any ammo left, so this is going to be, I think, just trying to skedaddle and evade them if they can. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll just roll this and re-roll anything higher than 8. 1. Okay, so yellow 3 gets one of them. 2 is going to be green leader. So we're down to just 6 left, so we can divide by 2 now. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be blue 2. All right, so let's Push these out of the way. We'll resolve this over here. So our first one is head on with a rota. If heavy escort, add a swarm. So I guess I need to specify. So these first two are going to be from the ports, and then the third one's going to be from the low. So this is a heavy escort. So they're head on with a rota and tailed by a swarm of 110s. All right, so we'll resolve the head on first. We've got to remember to use this column now because they're 110s. We're a lone fighter. Oh my. So they vanish, but then two more show up behind us. So now we're tailed by a swarm and a rota. All right, well, we are definitely going to try to evade the so we'll do this one first. We're going to try to evade them. So we'll draw two tailed cards. Let's see. We are 110s and lone fighter. So it's either 2 hits or 1 hit. Yikes. So we'll take 1 hit. That means we can't do a maneuver against the rota now. But then since we did an evade and we are still tailed, this gets reduced. All right, and then tailed for this one. Lone fighter against 110s. A green pilot takes a hit. This is yellow 3, which is Birtwistle, and he is not green. So nothing happens there. So then we do our hit check. So we need a 9 or higher. Oops, that missed the tower. I'm not going to count that. Should have counted it. All right. So he goes to the engine fate box. All right. Next up, we have these counters put back. Green leader. Also out of ammo, piloted by Jap. And again, this one is from the port station, so it is heavy. Hunt in the sun, clear or haze only. If escort station, which it is, it must be in the sun, which it is not. So we do not replace the rota with the swarm. So he's tailed by a rota of 110s. He will evade. Okay, and we're lone against 110s. Oh my. All right, well, we'll take the reduce result. And then because we evaded and they're still reduced, they get an automatic reduction, and that is that. And he concluded the dogfight in 1 round, so he has not lost contact. Still in the bomber formation area. And then lastly, this is not a heavy station. We have Blue 2, piloted by Northcott, who still has his privilege available. Jap did as well, but he didn't end up needing it. It's not a heavy escort, so that's good. Head on with a rota. This one said replace. That other one said add, right? Yeah, the first one, oh, because that's a bounced result, or bounced event. This is behind you, so those are different. Okay, but that doesn't apply, so it's just head on with a rota. Nothing we can do here, so we just see what we get. And we are a lone fighter, head on against 110s, so they vanish and we take a hit. And our hit is fuselage 10. We need to resolve that now. 8. So off to the fuselage fate box. Okay. All right. Then we have, so that was it for the help arrives. If there were a 109 station in the, that's the high station there, then it would be reduced, but there isn't one. And then if there were an escort in the lead station, it would move to the ahead station, and trailing would move to low. But neither of those are the case. While we're looking at these, I don't remember if I mentioned this already or not. I found out recently that these help arrives on the reaction cards, they never come from the lead station or the trailing station. So if you only have escorts in the lead or trailing, you're guaranteed to not, I mean, you could still get ambushed, obviously, but you're guaranteed to not get jumped by the escorts unless there's an ambush. So that's good information to know when deciding if you want to stay around for a second round and things like that. So, or if you want to bother trying to suppress escorts. So just a good little information tidbit there. All right, so that concludes the reaction step. So now we go to chase. We have no one that has lost contact, so there's nothing to do there. Is the patrol complete? No, we still have fighters in the bomber formation area. And even though we're planning on not doing anything else with them, you can't say yes here. You have to say no. So now we have to spend another fuel. And there's no escort recovery because we didn't suppress any. We do have escort exit to check for. So let's see what we have here. So 109s will exit on a 9, or will get reduced or exit on a 9. 110s on an 11. So we need to roll for each of these individually. So the 109s in the ahead station, we got a 5. We needed a 9 or higher, so they're sticking around. The 110s in the port station, and 11 or higher. Hey, there we go, 11. So they get reduced. And then same for the low station, we need 11 or higher. No, so they're staying. Okay, then we have channel patrol. There's no channel patrol number, these green numbers here. where the raid marker currently is, so no on that. Nothing to do for reform raid vector. And I forgot to, always forget to do this until it's time to start revealing them. We need to put our outbound vector markers down. And while we're on this topic, I was watching Grant OS. Check out his YouTube channel. He's currently doing a playthrough of Skies Over Britain. In one of his recent videos, he was questioning whether he was supposed to put these in all of these rows. And no, it's just whichever outbound row the line goes to, basically. So if they came from the coast zone, it goes here. If they came from the middle zone, you fill these in. If it came from the deep zone, you fill these in. I think he realized once he saw that there weren't enough markers to fill all the spots that you don't do that. But just in case anyone else was wondering about that. Okay, so this moves over to here now, and we see what we got. Weather. So weather means it changes to haze. I don't think it's going to have any effect on us. All right. Then we go to swirl again. So we're back up to here. Orders, there's nobody to give orders to. We skip the intercept because there's no one on the interception map. Entropy, back to the bomber formation area. Now we can send these guys home. They are all going to RTB. Because I think all but one of them, I think two of them still have ammo, but it's not worth leaving them here, especially since all the bombers are still in tight formation. Not going to be very productive. All right, so they all go back to the RTB track under their fuel markers. It's not a bailout zone, so we don't have to check for bailout. And now, reaction step is skipped because there's no bomber or fighters in the bomber formation area. No one's lost contact, so we skip chase. Is the patrol complete? Yes. All fighters are in fate boxes or on the RTB track. So the patrol is complete. We will now proceed to check the fate of our two pilots. So blue 2, make sure yellow 3 is not green and blue 2 is not green. So don't have to worry about that. I think I might start just like I did with the fatigue markers, putting them on the fighter. Start doing that with the green markers too, because it's good to have that reminder even when you're doing the resolving the bomber cards and stuff, to know that that's a green pilot at quick glance. All right, so we're looking for an 8 or higher to land this baby successfully. Red die will be the first result. 4. So he crashes, but then he got a 10. So crashes, follows to this first line. 6 or more, he bails out successfully. So that is blue 2 is going to be Northcott. So Northcott bails out. Then we have Yellow 3, piloted by Birchwhistle. 10 or higher. A little bit harder to land with the engine hit. Nope, almost 9. So he crashes, but then a 12 is a successful bailout. So Birchwhistle manages to bail out. And I think that's going to do it. So let's look at our summary of our patrol. Again, I'm deferring the replacements for the next patrol until the beginning of the next patrol in case we have another one of these nasty scramble events or something similar. All right, so we managed 3 bomber kills. We weren't able to get points for isolated Ketan. So that's 3 victory points. We had 2 pilots bail out. No one was wounded and no one was killed. So that puts us up to 16, 18, 21 points now for the patrol. Or for the chapter, sorry. And let's see where that falls. All right, so this is an 8 patrol chapter. So 21, we're still solidly in that failure outcome. But again, we've managed to avoid disaster, which that would cause a failure of the entire campaign. So we can try to shoot for 41, but again, it's not that important to me as long as we stay out of the disaster zone, which we have. So we have, 3 patrols left. We're at 21. We'd have to get to 41, so we'd have to get a little over 6 points per patrol, between 6 to 7 points per patrol to get up to that success range. I mean, it's certainly doable. I mean, look, we scored 11 points on the second patrol, so we've done that a couple of times, 3 times actually. So it's certainly doable, but again, not crucial for our success. All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Skies Above Britain. Again, if you enjoyed what you saw, please like the video, share it, subscribe if you want to see more like it. I will eventually get back to my playthrough of Silent War. It's been kind of put on hold for the time being because I had a burning desire to play Skies Above Britain. So once we wrap this up, we'll get back to that Silent War playthrough. And at some point when my daughter's schedules allow it, we are going to get back to playing some more Lord of the Rings, the card game, as well. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.